Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. I'm a little bit late today in setting up the stream, so please bear with me while I just pop out the chat window and get started. So there you go. We are almost ready. Apologies for the delay. I hope someone is online and just... There we go. Well, I'm looking at the CNBC homepage and I can see that most of the indices are positive. So this could be a little bit of a bounce back. And remember, we are having the NVDA earnings coming in today. That could also determine the direction of the MAG 7 and the whole market because it has got a heavy weightage everywhere. Some of the good news that is giving positive vibes this morning are GM results and their announcement to do stock buyback. And then Lowe's result. Actually, these two articles that I see here are contradicting each other. A healthy housing market would indicate a healthy stock market and a healthy economy. Lowe's gives us an idea that the housing market is good, but if you look at the one below, which says mortgage rates drop to lowest since mid-December, but demand still falls short. So basically what that would mean is that people are not buying houses. And why would people not buy houses? They wouldn't buy houses if they feel that they might have a job loss situation, or if their earnings are not sufficient to save enough for the down payment and get into the housing ladder. So these are the two reasons. And both of them are not that great for the economy. And if you layer on top of that the fact that there is what I would say, a lot of policy indecision going on overall. So I think that a pause is recommended. A little bit of boost today in the market, but I still feel bearish. And I will explain that when we go into the trading view charts. And I have some trade ideas, and I'm also going to share some of the trades that I did and which resulted positive. So that's what I want to say. Let's go on to the trading view platform, and I will go on to the futures. That's where we always start. So NASDAQ futures are looking very positive. They are up 0.64%. But when you look at the chart out here, you can see there is a resistance on the top. There is this green line of support on the bottom. The chart pattern that is forming out here, if it comes through at the end of the day, where this green candle is within the body of this red candle, that's a very bullish Japanese candlestick pattern, which could give energy to the NASDAQ futures to break through this, I would say, minor resistance out here and move upwards. And that resistance is very difficult either today or tomorrow, because it's a confluence of this diagonal line of resistance and this minor resistance. And remember, we are already below the 21-day exponential moving average. So with all these things in mind, and the fact that we are potentially looking at a double top, which is a bearish sign. So I'm thinking that the chances of NASDAQ going down further is much higher than it going up. However, we'll have to wait for the tests to be complete. The first test is going to be whether we are bouncing back from this resistance, and then whether we are bouncing back up from this diagonal line of support. So if we did bounce back on these two, then we could have a consolidation pattern going on. And if I extend this line further, you would see we are forming a wedge out here. And then we have the possibility of breaking on the upside on the wedge, because we are still on a bullish channel overall. So from a short-term time frame where each candle is a 1 day, I think the chances of us going down is much higher than the chances of going up, regardless of the positives we are seeing in the pre-market. Let us go and look at S&P 500 futures. And we are still moving within this box, and this support out here is coming into play at 5971, 5971. And I'm looking at the MACD, which is looking very bearish. Momentum is picking up a little bit. We have a gain of 0.39% in pre-market trades, but again, we have a double top here, or if you consider this also, then you have a triple top. A bearish sign. It's going to come down. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with that. at least until I get any catalyst to the other side. So the next support is going to be 59.71, and the support after that, if it falls down, is 5,861.50. So those are the two things. And good morning, Inf. Thanks for joining. And then I'm looking at the 10-year yields, which are starting to tick up a little bit, but they have a lot of resistance. MACD momentum, everything indicates that the yields are going to go down further. And if I look at the yields along with, let's go to indicators and look at wicks. So if I look at the yield along with the wicks and the way the other indicators are moving, if you look at gold also for that matter, the gold price is also going down. So if I put all of these things together and look at what's happening overall, I think that probably money is moving out of the stock market, and I would have expected it to go into gold, but it is not going in there either. So I'm not able to figure out what's happening out there. But definitely money is not rotating, it's coming out of the stock market. The indices are also falling. Let's go and have a look at the indices. Indicator Dow Jones. So Dow Jones has got a support out here at 43,294.06. MACD is very bearish. Momentum is still below average. So this support is holding us up. I'm going to reduce the size of the lines out here. And then if we break down from there, then we are going to do this gap fill, which is pending for a while now. This gap fill happened around 15th of January 2025. So I would say that our next support is going to be 42,913, and failing which the next support will be 42,546, which will help us to complete this gap down and fill it up. So that's what I'm expecting for Dow Jones. Next, we look at S&P 500. MACD bearish, everything is bearish out here overall. Pre-market also, it's down 0.47%. And I have taken this double top and I have drawn a target which falls just short of our support out here. I'm going to reduce this so that you can see the difference. So we are at 5841.29, which is the next support, and my target is 5855.79. So there could be a little bit of plus or minus. We can't be very perfect in this. So I am thinking that we are looking at a support of 5841.29. So we're going to drop that. So that's my expectation for S&P 500. So if you keep Dow Jones and S&P 500 as reference, then you will find that NASDAQ has no option but to go down. And you look at Russell index. Russell has a support at 214.50, which has helped us to bounce back yesterday. Let us see which candle is this. This is for 25th. So today we are still within yesterday's candle, just slightly above at the wick. Is what is holding us back out there. And if you look at the gain, it's only 0.29%. We are still below the 21-day and the 200-day exponential moving average. We have not yet become oversold. MACD is bearish. So I'm thinking that there is a very good possibility that we will again get supported by 214.50 today. But if we break through from there, then we have a gap fill to be completed. So I'm thinking that the next support should be somewhere around $210. So that's what I am thinking for IWM. Let us look at the NASDAQ chart. We have seen the NASDAQ futures. Hey, Michael, good morning. And we are looking at the NASDAQ charts now. As I said, the bias is downwards. So this is the support that we have. 20,923 is the support for NASDAQ, and we have bounced off it many times. And we are bouncing off it again today. We did yesterday, and we are also above that today. We are down 1.24% as of yesterday. And as I showed you in the NASDAQ futures, we are up. But I'm thinking that overall we have a downward bias, and I'm informed by the fact that the MACD is bearish and momentum is still dropping. And we have a double top out here, in my opinion, and the double top is going to always be a bearish pattern. Let me quickly take you back to the futures, because Michael just joined and must have missed the discussion I had with the NASDAQ futures. So NASDAQ futures is now showing a little bit of positive out here. 0.65 is actually significant. It could be the NVDA effect. NVDA had dropped a lot and it's picking up today. Earnings are out, so that's the effect that we are looking at. And we have a resistance out here, which is somewhere around 21,498 or 490, something in that range. So I am expecting that we are going to touch that, and it's a very strong resistance because the diagonal line is also out there. Then we are going to come back down, and if we bounce off this diagonal line of support, we could consolidate out here, and this could be a flag from which we could either break up or break down. Otherwise, we have a support which is at 21,006.50, failing which we are coming down to the next support, which is at 20,664. So those of you who have cash in hand, you're going to find a very good opportunity to buy stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. And put call ratio is almost neutral. It's at 0.94. VIX is going down 2.21%, but it still has got a support at 18.16. So I'm expecting that the market is going to start well, but once the I would say once the market is maybe hour and a half or 2 hours into, then probably it could turn around, because that's the time when the VIX has got to negotiate this support. If it breaks through the support, then markets will be good. If it bounces back from the support, then I think we have a problem. If you look at gold, gold is almost neutral. It's there's an indecision out here. I don't know which way it will go, but if the markets go down and if the yields are going up, I think the money is going into the bond market. Let's go and have a look at futures. That futures already done. Let's go to AI. So in AI, I have got Google. I think Google is going to turn around. There's a huge area of support out here, and today probably we might come down out here. Very strong support from the 200-day exponential, as well as this huge area of support that we have mapped from before. And therefore I am thinking that this positive is pretty good, 0.73. So even after a couple of hours of the market, if things start going down and they come and hit out here, then they can bounce back up again, because by then we would have been oversold for Google, and MACD would be in the mend, and then it's going to be first a dead cat bounce, and then probably pick up strength and move up, and then this is going to become an area of resistance. So I have to mark this out and make this red and show that it's an area of resistance. So here you go. So that's the area of resistance. So we'll have to negotiate that. That's what I'm thinking out there. Tesla is very bearish and it's going to go down further in my opinion. But the only thing that gives me pause is that we are in oversold conditions. Last time we were oversold, we bounced back up, and then the drop was more fierce. And this time again, I think we'll have a little bit of a bounce back before we come down. MACD is very bearish overall. So that's my verdict for Tesla. And if Tesla comes down, it could have a support at 284.42. And then it is destined to do this gap fill. But within the gap fill, it has got a support, which is going to be at 268.87. So that's for Tesla. Then I have Tesla shorts out here. So those of you who think that you want to play around with Tesla, that it's going to go down, the opportunity is to buy shorts when the Tesla is going up right now, and then wait for it to jump back down, come back down. So the shorts TSLS will go up. Right now it's in the overbought condition, and if you look at Tesla, it's in the oversold condition. So right now it's not the right time to get into the shorts. You have to get into the shorts when your TSLS is closer to the oversold side. So that's what I would advise. I mean, again, personal advice, not financial advice. So be very careful about that, my friends. I burn my fingers many times when I get adventurous. You got Apple. Apple, I think, is looking pretty decent. It's got plenty of room on the RSI to go up. MACD is bullish, but a little bit weak. Momentum is also a little bit flat. And pre-market, it's down 0.44%. But the fact remains, it's about 21 and 200-day exponential, and it's also about two bullish support channels. So I'm very happy about Apple. And for those who want to go long on Apple, you can try AAPB. And right now it's negative minus 1.21 in pre-market sessions. But if you feel that you want to play Apple and you don't have $247 and you're long on Apple, I think this ETF will definitely help. It is 2x leveraged. Again, all of these carry a lot of risks, and I think you'll have to be very careful. So these are not financial advice, please be clear. Yes, Michael, I think neutral and waiting for NVIDIA, that is the thing that's happening today. So there will be a lot of swing trade opportunities or day trade opportunities. And we have Meta, which is, so I did a play on Meta. I'm going to show you my portfolio, the status of my portfolio. Please bear with me for a second while I load it up. So out here, you would see my portfolio, and I'm just going to walk you through it. So these are the trades I did on the 25th and 24th. So in one of the portfolios, what I did was I bought Meta long for 40.80, and I put it for sale today at 41.90. So that will give me some profits out here. And I sold Amazon Bear. I had bought that earlier in the day. On the 24th, I had bought it for 11.81. I sold it for 12.02. And I'll tell you the reason why I did this. So let's go back into the chart. Where is it? Okay, here you are. Okay, so I'm going to go into Amazon. So after I finished the live stream yesterday and I was looking at Amazon, I was seeing that we are very close to the bottom. And I was also looking at the support that we have out here. So I thought that let us have a go at Amazon. And I bought the Amazon short. And when it pierced this support, and when it came very close out here, I knew that it's going to go back, it's going to jump back up. So therefore I sold it. That's what I did. And after that, immediately I started adding all the short and long ETFs for each of these Mag 7s out here, so that anyone who wants to take cover or protection and doesn't have the ability to do the calls or put a large amount of money can probably use these ETFs. So that said, that was my move out there, and I'm taking you back into my portfolio again, so that you can see what's happening out there. So coming back to the portfolio, here we are. Come on. Okay, so here we are. I hope you are able to see this clearly. I bought NVDA at around 136. And then at around 133, I bought 200 NVIDIA in the account, because I'm thinking that there'll be a little bit of a gain for NVIDIA, and it may or may not happen. But here is my profit and loss situation. I'm up $734 so far, and the money I made was on FNGU, which gave me good profits. I lost a lot on Rigetti. If I had not lost 1,139 on Rigetti, I have still got accrued losses which I have not booked, but I sold 100 of those Rigetti and booked a loss of 1,139, and that's what has dragged me down. My gains were in Grail. I made 299 in Grail, just one day position, bought and sold. I made around $81 on NVIDIA. So this is my overall position out there. And then I'll take you to the other portfolio in which I have bought NVIDIA at 29.60 and 25.25. This is on the Canadian holding side. So I'm expecting again out here NVIDIA to give me some gains. Even if not, I think that after falling, it's going to pick up again. That's what NVIDIA does. So it will be an accumulating opportunity. But if NVIDIA just jumps up after earnings, I didn't have sufficient NVIDIA, so I've bought it up. And then this is my profit and loss. I made a profit of around $2,744 out here, out of which Amazon contributed $1,143, Costco contributed $513, and NVIDIA contributed $1,088, and RioCan gave me a dividend of $245.32. So RioCan is a real estate investment trust for those who do not have knowledge of Canadian markets. So this is on the Canadian side. So my friends, this is what I have with me. I'm going to just switch back into the TradingView platform so that we can continue with our analysis. And I'm also going to see what our chat friends are saying if there is anything new. No. So let's continue. So I have, let's look at the next one out here. Apple, as I said, Apple is going to be positive. Meta. So now in Meta, I have got Meta longs. I bought Meta long because I think that Meta is going to bounce off from this diagonal line of support, and it's almost coming to oversold. So you have the MACD very bearish, and you have the momentum dropping. Pre-market, it's up 0.91%. So this gives me an opportunity to take some profit, because ultimately I think that it's going to touch this diagonal line of support before moving up. And that's what I'm hoping for. Next, we are looking at FBL. This is Meta long. This is the one that I have bought, and which is what I am trying to sell this morning at 41.90. So wish me luck. I may change my opinion and maybe decide to sell at 41.50. It all depends on when the market opens. And then we have Microsoft, which is down 1.51% as of the last trading day. Let me make all these lines thin so that the chart looks a little bit neater. I keep on changing my opinion on the thickness of these lines. So today we are below the resistance of 399.89. We are at 399.21, which is a gain of 0.33%. But I'm thinking that Microsoft is still going to go down. There is the possibility of further downward movement because MACD is still bearish and momentum is low. And it's not yet oversold. So when it gets oversold, that's when I would like to buy Microsoft longs, and maybe Microsoft on the Canadian side. Next, I'm looking at Amazon. Amazon is up 0.87 in the pre-market trades, and it has bounced off from this support of 209.95. It's at 214.62, and it's going to face this resistance out here at 215.77. And I'm thinking that it could probably continue moving up if it manages to break through this horizontal line of resistance. And if it did not, if it tests it and fails to break it, then it's going to head for 209.95. So that's when I would like to buy the Amazon shorts and try to make some money out of it. Amazon shorts is out here, AMZD. It is 1x short, and it's down 0.76% in pre-market trades. But if you look at the shorts, you can see that it's in the overbought status, and it's likely to fall down from there. And yes, David, all eyes are on NVDA earnings. Thanks for joining, David. And then I'm looking at NVIDIA, which is the talk of the town right now. NVIDIA has a support which happens to be at 126.20, and as you can see in this chart, we neatly bounced off from there. In pre-market, we are up 2.31, just below our resistance out here at 130.15. So it's all looking good. I'm going to mark another resistance out here at 127.25 as a support now. So we are looking nicely positioned to break that resistance, and then our 21-day exponential is going to be our resistance. Now look at the MACD out here. If you look at MACD, you can see that we are almost ready to cross over the signal line. So it's like Goldilocks. Everything is poised out here. Momentum is also below average, but it has not gone down significantly. Everything is waiting for NVIDIA results, and our NVIDIA results are going to be out this evening after hours. So those who dare a lot can buy something out here. As I've already shown you my personal portfolio, I bought around 200 units of NVIDIA in the US side and 200 in the Canadian side. I have not gone into NVDL, which is more affordable. I'm not touching that as yet. I'm too scared to do that. Or NVD, which is the bearish NVIDIA. I'm not doing that either. So NVIDIA is going to determine which side the market is going to go. And next, let us look at Qualcomm. Qualcomm, I think it's neither here nor there. It's just moving sideways. AMD, someone asked me yesterday about AMD, and I'm thinking that AMD is definitely bearish. I'll have to wait for that next earnings result to see if they can move forward, and that will all depend on how they penetrate the data center business and what is the importance of data center business by the time we report the next quarter. So those are the variables out there. And I have AMD shorts out here, which is a very good way to play the downward direction, because you can see AMD shorts is on an upward trend. So if you are to take these lines together and join all the bottoms, then you can see that it's on the upward trend. And if you want to refine this further, you could take it out here and you could connect all these lines and say that this is our bullish support line. So as it comes closer to this, you can buy, expecting it to go up again until further notice. Right now we are in the overbought situation. We could still go up all the way up to 74 on the RSI charts out here, but I wouldn't take the chance at this point of time. Michael says, I'm long on China technology and DAX, short Tesla and NASDAQ. Perfect run, hope it continues. Yes. This sounds exciting, and probably China could also get a rallying effect because of the reciprocal tariffs and tariffs on Mexico and Canada, and reciprocal tariffs on Europe. So basically all of them could get together and start doing business, circumventing the US, which continues to be the biggest market. But if the US economy starts falling and the purchasing power of the consumer goes down, I think your bet is definitely well placed from that perspective, but it's not without risks. So good idea, and thanks for sharing your idea, Michael. And David, if you have any suggestions for any tickers, now is the time. You could put it up there. I'm doing very well on FNGU. As you recollect, I had accumulated a lot of FNGU. It's now starting to give some gains. And friends, I had another stock of Bank of Ireland, which has been with me for almost 20 years now. There was a time when it dropped to 25 cents. It's now up to 11.50 or something, and it's starting to give good dividend. So the stock is going up. So my accumulated losses are reducing, and potentially I'm looking at a profit at a later date. So that shows the value of holding a blue chip for a long period of time. Then we go on to Broadcom, which is up 2.61%. So I'm going to skip the rest of them. I'll just go to the key ones. So let us look at Palantir. I'm bearish on Palantir. I'm thinking that it's going to do the gap fill out here. The gap fill is 83.68. And the reason I'm bearish is that we got MACD, which is very bearish. And then momentum is below average and it's still dropping. So despite this morning jump out here, remember the Department of Defense is cutting its budget. Doge is cutting costs everywhere. So Palantir is going to see a little bit of downside, and this is the best support that I think it has got. If it breaks down from this support, then I'll draw some new support lines. But till then, I'm thinking it's bearish at least until 83.68. Next, we go on to where else do we go? SMCI. I think there's going to be a lot of action in SMCI. SMCI has submitted its earnings, and it's become compliant with NASDAQ. So you could see a huge jump out here, 22.49. I want to buy SMCI. I've placed an order. I don't know whether I'm going to get it or not. I've put a pre-market order. I'll find out after I close the live stream. But I'm going to ride this back up. I think our next resistance is going to be 64.10. And it has got good potential. The only thing that gives me pause out here is that the EPS is negative, even though revenue has gone up. So to that extent, I'm thinking that if we come closer to this, I'll reassess the situation. That is assuming if my order gets passed, then I'm able to buy SMCI. Then we look at, what else do we look at out here? I'm going to look at Intel just to see where it is going. Intel is still above the 21-day exponential, and there is a little gap up out here which needs to be filled. This could potentially act as a magnet. Momentum is falling. MACD is going towards the signal line to cross over to the bearishness. So today I'm going to watch what's happening out here and then decide what's going to happen to AMD as well as Intel, because both of them have similar fortunes in my opinion because of the data center issue. But AMD is the superior among the two in my opinion. Then we go on to, where else? Rigetti. So Rigetti is up 5.43%. Remember, yesterday it was up in pre-market session, but it dropped 10.77%. Same is the story again today. It's up here, but it's likely to drop. But one of the things that gives me hope is that it has done the gap fill out here. So I'm thinking that it should be able to break through 9.86. Right now we are at 9.52. So that's what I'm hoping for. However, another aspect that makes me disappointed is the fact that MACD and momentum are not in support support of that thesis. Then we look at SMR. SMR is up 6.42% in pre-market trades. I suspect it was up yesterday as well, but it dropped. But if I was to zoom out and come back in, I can see that this is a long-term bull channel which is out there, and we are back into the bull channel, and we never broke this bull channel. If you look at this carefully, you'll see that we never broke this bull channel. So I'm thinking this bull channel is powerful and intact, and now I would look forward to SMR bouncing back up again, with the next stop being this diagonal line of resistance. So that's what I have for AI. And next I'm going on to look at our genomics. In genomics, I think blanket everything is going down in genomics, but we are going to look at some key stocks which have been very active. I would say that Verve is going to continue going down despite an early morning 0.31% increase, and we have earnings today. We don't know whether the earnings have happened or not. It may happen after hours, or it may already have happened. We don't know. I'll check that after our earnings, after our live stream. But I think right now it looks like it's going to go down further because of MACD and momentum. Ginkgo Bioworks down 14.77. Further downside is also expected. I think our next support is going to be around 8.52. Right now we are 8.77. Next, look at Caribou Biosciences, up 20.16% in pre-market trades. Let us see if there is any news. The news is not good. It says Caribou Biosciences faces scrutiny over CB010 treatment claims. Class action filed. So there is no positive news out here. I don't know why it's got a 20.16% jump. If any of you have any idea, please just put that in the comment for the benefit of myself and the community. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.99%. It is managing to bounce off the support at 44.58. We are at 44.95. But I'm thinking that we are below the 21-day exponential moving average, which is at 45.02. So we are likely to come back down again regardless of this. Overall market sentiment is likely to drive everything. And then we have Grail, which was down 4.83% yesterday, and it's up 0.65% in pre-market trades. But I'm thinking that it's going to come down and get a support from the 21-day exponential at 38.58. Prime is down 8.62, still in the bear channel, still going to go down. There is no pre-market trades. Beam is up 2.75%. It has got support out here at 29.41, and that's where I think it is heading. And then we have Altimmune, which has got earnings coming up on 27th of February. I have Altimmune. I'm very optimistic for that. But MACD and momentum do not give me any encouragement. And also the resistance at 6.22 doesn't serve much of optimism. Next, we go on to Bluebird Bio. It's up to 4. I think somebody is trying to play, a bunch of buyers probably are trying to play $3, which is the buyback price, plus a probability of getting that $6 on meeting 600 million sales target before 2027. So I'm thinking some element of that sort probably is coming into play out here. But in my mind, $3 is the rate at which it should be. And it's probably a dead cat bounce as well. Maybe somebody didn't hear about that $3 purchase price. So that's what I'm thinking out here. It will be interesting to see what happens later today. Allogene is going to come down further because MACD momentum are not supporting. There is this 21-day exponential moving average at 1.97. That's going to be the next support. Dead cat bounce. Yeah, most of the cases it's going to be dead cat bounce if they are oversold and if the MACD is really bearish. mRNA is moving sidewards and consolidating. ARCG is up 1.75%, but what can I say? It's already below the 21 and 200-day exponential. Even if I wanted to draw this further, I would say that we have a support somewhere around 24.96. Looking bearish indeed. PSAB is down 4.29% as of yesterday, below the 21 and the 200-day exponential. I'm bearish on PSAB right now. Intelia also is looking quite weak overall because momentum is below average. Illumina is up 0.46%. It's not yet come to this area which I had earmarked of 90.90, but it's definitely coming in there. There is a dead cat bounce effect going on out here. There is not much of a momentum as such. So we'll wait and watch this this area. I would like to buy somewhere closer to 90.83, and if we come to 90.83, I'm sure I'm going to look forward to see if we can get to 89.59, because those are really good places to buy Illumina. Remember, Illumina is also going to face problems with the tariffs. And then we come to IMTX, which is down 5.81. It's bearish. Editas is up 0.54%, but I still think Editas is bearish. We have earnings, and once the earnings comes in, then we'll get an idea of what's happening out there. Let's go to Iowa. Iowa is up 0.75%, but I think overall it's looking bearish. And then we look at Unicure. Unicure is looking totally bearish to me, and poised for dead cat bounce out here, because we are in the oversold area. But remember, in the past we have gone all the way up to around 24.11 on the RSI scale. So further downside is possible, and that coincides with the support here from the 200-day exponential. So for Unicure, expect a little bit more of a drop. Vertex is continuing to be on the bull channel. No worries about Vertex out here. So that brings me to an end of AI and genomics inf. I have already done AI. I'm going to go back into indicators and look at gold. Gold has still not decided whether it's going to be positive or negative. So that's where we are. And what else do we have here? Let us go to crypto before we wind up. Let's go in here and look at currencies. And I'm going to look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is still straddling this support out here at 87,329. Let me just put the cursor out here and see. 87,382 is the support that we have for Bitcoin. I'm going to make this line a bit thinner so that we can see it much more precisely. I'm going to make the chart a little bit bigger so that you can see the lines. So this is our line of support out here, and then the next support is the 200-day exponential, and we have used both of them so far. MACD is absolutely bearish. Momentum has dropped significantly. RSI says that we are oversold, and we have been oversold before, all the way up to 27.21 on the RSI scale. So there is a little bit more for it to come. Perhaps it may bounce back from the 200-day exponential once again and then be on its way back up. But what I have seen is that there is a lot of correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin. So if the overall stock market seems to be going down, I think Bitcoin is likely to go down. So towards that end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out and come back again. And I want to show you a pivotal level out here, which happens to be 73,328. So 73,328 is the next drop if we fall below this minor support. So that's what I'm thinking likely to happen. And if it comes out here, I'll definitely nibble a little bit more and accumulate Bitcoin. And I would do it through IBIT. So through the ETF, that's what I would do. Those who have direct stakes on Bitcoin, so you'd be able to do a more pure play directly without any overheads or anything. Ethereum is definitely looking very weak, and I'm thinking that Ethereum is going to continue to fall. It's down 2.34% this morning in pre-market trades. It has got support at 2,417. Right now it's at 2,433. So I think by the end of the trading day today, when I say trading day, I'm talking about stock market, I think we'll have tested this support. And IBIT ETF, which ETH ETF do you prefer? I have not checked the ETF for ETH. I'm going to do that today, and I'll get back to you tomorrow with an answer, or maybe I'll put it in the comment section if I find it. So I suppose any ETF that is offering Ethereum, I would prefer. And one of the reasons I'm doing that, there are a couple of reasons I'm doing that. One is that I find that keeping track of a wallet and keeping that on the Coinbase or any other platform, if I don't use a wallet, is a bit risky because a lot of hacking going on everywhere. And also I seem to attract the wrong kind of crowd in the comment section, trying to fish information. So I have dispensed away with all of those things, and that's why I go towards the ETF route. But if you are not in the social media, and if you have enough privacy and you're having good hygiene on the web, I think directly buying directly buying Bitcoin and Ethereum is the way to go. But then you have to be very careful with your wallet and your internet hygiene to be sure that you don't get phished. So be careful out there. That's about it, I guess, and that brings me to an end of today's session, and I'll go ahead and start doing my pre-market. But before I go, I just want to have a quick look at NVIDIA and show you what it's looking like. Let me enhance this a little bit and see where it is. Let's do this, recalibrate the chart. Okay, we are between two support levels, one support level of 126.20 and a resistance of 127.55. I'm going to mark this red and show that as a resistance. We are nicely between these two and very well poised. NVIDIA earnings hype, yes. So keep fingers crossed. I wouldn't make any major moves before earnings come from NVIDIA, because honestly, I don't know which way it's going to go. If you guys have any theories, David, Michael, and Inf, please put that in the comment section before I end the live stream and go for my breakfast. Okay guys, then I would like to end this live stream here. Thanks for joining. Take care, and I'll see you later.